My name is Wendy from Fabulosity Reads, Wendy Ewurum. Thank you for dropping in to listen to this review of Snow in July by Kim Headlee. I I believe I have pronounced her surname correctly, Headlee. Um, Snow in July is a book that I enjoyed a great deal. There are bits of it that I'm going to talk about which were a bit slow, but overall it was a pleasant reading experience. Now, this book is about a knight who is forced into a marriage situation by his king, and he cannot refuse because they have just conquered England, and so the Norman king has taken over uh, Saxon rule. It is a very interesting book because it has so much historical gems in there. It I think I would say that the time that it is set in is the medieval period. So if you enjoy history, you will enjoy this particular book, particularly, and also if you are the kind of person I think who likes digging around, for historical facts and accuracy, because there are a lot of very um, things that are very specific to the period that are mentioned. For example, there is a great emphasis on the healing power of natural medicine and herbs and the like. Uh, there is very specific mention of the kinds of food, the kinds of dress. So it's not the kind of novel that just handles things at a superficial level just to get the sort of feeling into the era, but it actually creates a whole live experience where you can see these things happening within that era, and you learn a lot too. I learned a lot about the time period, from the battles, the way the knights are dressed, from the time, the behavior between, and relationships between men and women, whether it is father to daughter, or a brother to sister, or a beau to a lover. So it was really quite informative, and even about the vagabonds of the time. Um, so it is very informative book, novel from that perspective, and it also has a convincing love story. I think it happens in the backdrop of everything that is going on. There are a lot of twists and turns um, within the book. Uh, you would expect that a romance book, a historical romance book, is straightforward. There is an issue to deal with. They deal with the issue and get over. But there are so many things going on in this book that are unrelated to the couple, which I think, and but at the same time, which affect them and make them the center of attention within the story, but not in a romantic manner, which I think was one of the really pleasant things about the book, because I personally do not enjoy straightforward romances. I find them tiresome, because the storyline is always the same. But with this one, it's different and it's unique, because not only I've just spoken about the historical aspect, but there is a paranormal aspect to it as well, which you know that well, if you've been reading my reviews, you know that I love the paranormal genre, which is also what made me pick up this particular book or volunteer to sign up for the tour. So it has that paranormal aspect, and it is surprising and interesting, and there is a lot of suspense towards it. Yeah, so I think it is the concept, the premise of the book is a really good one, and it's put together, and you can see that the author put a lot of thought into it, and she didn't just want to slap together a book and get it out there, but she really put a lot into it. I particularly even enjoyed the consistencies within the story. For example, the French influence. It's not only just talking about the French people, but actually communicating in French. But you can understand everything because the way that she structured the dialogue is in such that you would understand what is being said by the French person, and it continues throughout the story. So I think Kim is onto something really wonderful with this book. It's my first read from her. I did find it a little bit slow in places. For example, where Kendra, who is the female lead, is being held hostage at in this fort up in the mountains, and that period in the mountains for me was a little bit confusing because I would expect that a rescue team will go in there, rescue, run off. It seemed that there was some kind of delay that was happening, which just I couldn't understand what it was for, except for it was if it was being done to delay or to accommodate the the next development in the story, and it just didn't seem to gel all too well for me. And the other little bit of a nitpick that I had is that I kind of have I don't really enjoy in my novels references to male on male relationships, or in whether good relationships or bad relationships. So that was a little niggle for me every time there was a little bit of a mention of a possible rape scene. It bothered me. I'm the kind of person that if I'm watching a show and it looks like there's going to be a rape in prison, I change the channel. So that was something for me that was a little bit of a bother. But overall, if you can overlook those two things, I think it would be a great reading experience. So I give Snow in July 4 stars. Thank you.